top spots on the grid.
Hello and welcome to VollGazzRacing Season 8 Division 1 Round 9 here at Barcelona in Catalonia, or Catalonia in Barcelona, whichever way round you want to say it. But I forgot. I'll quickly look at the standings because I know it'll be I can figure out what needs to be done to keep this championship alive, but it's not very I don't think it's that difficult. That's not the right standings. So that's round 7. It'll be there we go. So there'll be 45. Oh, Plat's just sitting in the gravel there. It's strange. So with 3 rounds remaining, there's 45 points up for grabs. So, oh dear. So 80, 75. So VTL's got to score 9 points over Plat, which is unlikely, but he has just had problems. So whoever that strikes twice, unless he just stopped to try and show what the championship standings were. But anyway, right, VTR. Right, I got disqualified for sending me the standings when I had them. Right, okay. Oh, in fact, he falls off in the background. Well, that's well, Plat's basically screwed himself over with trying to send me the standings when I found them, but he should have just boxed and sent them me instead of just waiting on circuit and trying to send it me. Sort of done himself over there. Anyway, I'm sure the others won't complain at all. So VTR now into turn number 4. And now into turn 5. So this is VTL's chance. Plat's is going to be starting 9th on the grid. So to score 8 points over Plat, he basically has to get a podium. Or no, he has to finish inside the top 2, and then I can figure it out from there. But likelihood is, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna, VTL's chance of winning the championship is very, very slim. But it's the highest of anyone else on the grid, so we'll see what can happen as he rounds out turn 10 and into turn number 11. Here comes VTR up to the line. So 36.6, so not the greatest of lap times to begin with. Finley goes 3rd, Craig goes 2nd, Bradley goes 2nd, Nelson, whereas he's in the 3rd sector, DJ's in the last corner. We hope so, BRX. Right, here we go, DJ up to the line, and he goes 5th. Here comes Sire up to the line. Has he done? This could be pole position. Yes, it is. And here comes Nelson up to the final corner, wheeling as ever. His bike loves to wheelie. Just does the aerodynamic fairings on that GP22 just do not exist for him. Across landing, he goes 5th. Lots of red sector 1s, but that's sort of to be expected because the first sector is so short. It's just a long straight and the first 2 corners. So take the first sectors with a pinch of salt. You have to wait till sector 2 to find out how fast they're going. And Craig, he's been I'd say the best rider maybe not pace-wise, but in terms of consistency, he's rarely made mistakes, and he's finished inside the top 5 in all of his races so far. And Howling, the winner here from season 5. He did not, pace-wise, he should not have won it. Bike-wise, he should not have won it. Tyre-wise, he should not have won it. But he got very lucky with, I don't remember who crashed. Like Nelson crashed, Cammy crashed a lot. A lot of people crashed, and Howling was the one who kept on 2 wheels and brought the Aprilia RSGP 2021 bike home for the victory. You'll be needing something like that today, because you definitely won't have the strongest pace, but we'll see how we can do. Through the final 2 corners now, up to the last one. And here we go. Here comes Howling up to the line. Where will the Dutchman go? 8th place. VTR improves his second lap. I don't know. Anyway, VTR is now in 2nd place, and Finley's in 3rd. Finley has been setting his pace and stuff during the week, showing his improvements and praying to God that he can survive at the opening lap and put an actual decent race together, which he's been capable of for the past 2 rounds. He was able to the past round, but unfortunately bad luck simply denied him that chance. And Craig here is on an absolute flyer of a lap. Lost a bit in the 3rd sector, but if he can use that Yamaha's turning abilities, he might be able to find a little bit of time left in this final sector to... Oh, he's invalidated. Oh, it's a shame for him. DJ, I think, is going to be boxing. Fadley is on an outlap, Finley's on an outlap, VTR's on an outlap, Sire is just exiting the pit lane. So we'll go on with VTR. I mean, this might be the first time that someone of one Black's on pole position. Granted, it's because he's not on the session, but still. Here we go. Can VTR get the GSXR on pole position in Barcelona, hard on the brakes into turn 1, running just along the white line on the curb, throwing it into the first corner, change direction using all the curb. So it's a red sector, yes. So Sire wasn't so strong in that first sector, despite the fact he's got the power advantage. Firing it up to turn number 3 now, hard on the brakes, early apex, run it wide, and hold it a few metres out the wide apex, cut it back ever so slightly under the Monster Energy Bridge, change direction now to turn 5. This is the crash corner, this is where the race was won here in Division 2, not giving no spoilers, but that's where the race was won for the eventual winner. Into turn 7, it's a weird corner, you got camber and bag cambers with curb and the track in general. Into turn 9, right on the limit there on the curb, and up down the back straight into the newly profiled turn 10. This might be turn 10 and 11, but I just counted it as turn 10. It's like the classic style, but just a little bit tighter. Into turn 11, long right hander. VTR decides to take the V-ish line into the fast penultimate corner, hard on the gas, going to go over the curb a little bit and into the final corner. Not perfected, but it's okay. Is this pole position for the current runner-up in the championship? Yes, it is. He claims it by 1/10 of a second. Finley improving 4.5 tenths, just under 4.5 tenths to find to try and take pole position. Hard on the brakes. He's lost it in the 3rd sector somewhere. You got red sectors everywhere in sector 1. Fadley's lost his time in sectors 2 and 3. We keep an eye on Nelson when he crosses the sector 2 point, which will be round about now, and he's improving. I'll say he was improving. He was struggling to get the suspension correct on the bike. Hopefully, he's managed to solve those woes since then. Finley doing the last corner very nicely. Up to the line. Can he improve his lap time? He can improve by over 1/10 of a second, but just consolidates for now his front row position. Because I would not be surprised if starting from 9th actually ends up winning. Well, not winning. I won't be surprised. Won't be surprised if by the end of the first lap he'll be leading the way. But it definitely means he's gonna have more chance of being involved in some kind of collision. You know, there's been tons of collisions, and Nelson just getting lucky there not to get a lap of value there. But it wouldn't matter anyway because he has actually improved, but not in position. But yeah, we've seen lots of red flag incidents that should have happened, but unfortunately due to red flags causing the game to crash, they simply cannot be done. So unfortunately, if you are involved in those incidents, your race is screwed. So we'll see what happens. Catalonia is famous for it. It's happened twice in real life, in 2006 and 2022, and it's happened in this league as well in season 2. Just go and watch that, and all the chaos unfolding into turn 1, and that caused one of the world's craziest battles for the podium we've had. Very surprised people in the fight for the podium that day. But here comes Craig exiting out the final corner. Can he jump onto the front row of the grid? 4 attempts to find. Yes, he does. DJ on the Aprilia improving up to the line, and he goes into 7th. So Howling struggling to get that Honda to work around here currently. Nelson's gone down at turn 9 after validating, so he's gonna have to box and pray he can get a lap out. Howling red sector 1, but like I said before, this can be a bit of an anomaly. We'll see how this goes. The wheels are just spinning and crying out for mercy throughout this entire track. The amount of long-handed corners and the amount of spin that goes through this tyre. Now you change the direction into turn 5. Crash corner, especially in real life. Under the Michelin bridge is improvement for Howling. Here we go into turn 7. Holding the gas, change the direction, a little bit of a wheelie. That's going to cost him a little bit of drive. Under the Tissot bridge into turn 9. Keeping it nice and tight. Can he keep the front end planted? No, the front end lifts just a tiny bit. That's going to cost him a little bit of drive. Now coming up to turn 10, hard on the brakes. Bike's moving all over the place just like how he likes it. Gets into 3rd gear through turn 11. He's missed the late apex quite a bit there. The bike simply just not turning in and just choosing to slide through turn 12. He's missed apex as well. It's not been the greatest of final sectors for Howling. And he comes up to line. So this seems to be the sector he needs to work on. Another wheelie as well. So maybe that's just a ride out device, I don't know. But up to line, and he goes 7th. But here last season he had one of the greatest starts I've ever seen. He qualified similar position to this, and he was actually got the whole shot into turn 1. Here comes VTR on his penultimate lap of the session. Hopefully he's got 2 laps worth of fuel. Have a go at this to try and maintain his pole position. Hard on the brakes into turn 1. And it's improved sector 1. Badly and Howling not improving at sector 1 isn't a problem. Howling's actually managed to... Howling session's over. He will not be able to get back out of the box. So it's 7th place at best for Howling. We'll see how this goes for him. Into turn 5. That Suzuki seems to be working. It wasn't working in Division 2. That the Suzuki looked very strange, but it seems like VTO's got the right setting in the Japanese machine. He's lost a bit of time in the 2nd sector though, and Finley's got red sector 1. We're just keeping an eye on what his 2nd sector time is. And remember, he did not improve his 3rd sector, so that is an area of time he can gain. Sideways goes VTO into turn 10, trying to get on the gas as early as possible. You do suffer with lack of lean angle due to the way that the corner is cambered and how profile the corner actually is. And Finley goes red in sector 2. Hopefully he can just coast through, do a decent 3rd sector, do better than he did last time, and hopefully we can see a red sector 3 pop up. Whoa, and VTR hits the curb and he's gone down. And he might just get away with not invalidating the next sector. Yeah, he has. So he's got one more go at it. Finley improves in sector 3. So sector 3 seems to be Finley's weakest sector. Into the final sector he goes. I'm sure his heart's racing at this moment. Pole position's on the cards. Depending on how he takes this final sector. A little bit of wheelie. Don't take too much curb on the exit of this corner. We saw what happened to VTR. Final corner. He's just got to take this nice curve. Always at the curb. Up to the line he goes. Sire looks like he's going to steal it. At the end, Finley up to the line. He manages to get back onto the front row of the grid. Here comes Sire. Can he take his first pole position of the season? DJ over red sector 1. It's hard not to get excited with seeing these, but we go up to the line. Sire up to the line and he takes pole position at the last moment. And VTR's improving deep. Let's see DJ as he goes through sector number 2, and he is improving hard on the brakes into turn 7. Something nice. The VTR not improving in sector 2. Looks like he's got the best out of that tyre, but we'll see if he can salvage anything in these final 2 sectors. Nobody else really improving, so it's just DJ we're waiting on. See if he can climb any more spots. Okay, now Aprilia sideways, he continues to improve. Whoa, a big shake on the front end of the Aprilia. He's able to cut it back though hard on the gas. Keeping people are just, you can tell people are just struggling to keep the front end planted here. And Vito's gone down the last corner again. And here comes DJ up to the line. And he goes into 5th. Good salvage job by DJ there. That'll be it. We'll have to restart the lobby due to Platt DCing himself, or DQing himself. Anyway, Sire takes pole position in front of VTR in 2nd, Finley in 3rd. It's a interesting front row. Craig in 4th, DJ in 5th, Fadley 6th, Nelson 7th, Howling 8th, and Platt will be starting in 9th. So we'll see how this goes. VTR, it's a must-win pretty much situation. He's got to pray that Platt is outside the top 4, if that's to happen. It's unlikely, but you never know. So we will just let them have a practice go into turn 1. Give them the chance to prepare, and you know, this one they can screw up. I will give them that chance to know what is likely to happen, so they can figure out who's going to most likely do what. Also, you'll be on different tyres and different fuel loads, etc. etc. But still, it's somewhat similar. See if they can. Let's see if they can just all get into turn 1 fine without a crash. No. No. Fadley choosing. That looked like they were all going to get through clean there, but Fadley had other ideas. Make sure with that. So VTR, Finley, Craig, DJ, Fadley, Nelson, how? Yep. Right, it's all correct. Make sure the settings are correct. Right, yeah, let's go. We pray that nothing happens in turn 1, even though somebody will go down at turn 1. It's almost guaranteed.
Welcome to Barcelona, Spain. We're coming to you from the Catalunya circuit, where the fans in the stands are eagerly awaiting.
Right, so we wait on everyone to ready up. Let's see what happens. So if Platt finishes inside the top 4, he is champion. Simple as that. The guy who's finished first in every race so far this season has got to finish 4th. Yes, he's not starting from pole and he can't do a light stuff like finish, so to speak. But yeah, it's unlikely. We'll see how it goes though. See if VTR can keep the title hope alive for the final 3 rounds. Just waiting on Howling Siege. Right, let's go. Money's on Platt to win the race. We never know. Sire on pole position on the Mooney VR46 Racing Ducati. VTR in 2nd and Finley in 3rd. We're actually stuck in a helicopter view, this ain't too bad. And we are away. Trying to notice who's got the hard rears, who's got the medium rears. We'll fire down into turn 1. It's about 6-7 abreast into turn 1. Platt's trying to go up the side of all of them. And he's actually managed to do it as well. He's gone from last to 2nd in one corner. Seems like the Prima Pramac guys have come out worse in all of it. And Howling going to go round the outside. It's the 2 guys on the back row of the grid who are 2nd and 3rd. They profited so much from all that chaos, and Finley's actually down in last as well. I don't know how that's happened, but everyone survived. And is Platt going to make his move into turn 5? Here he goes up the inside. Can't quite make a move. On the scales between the Aprilia, the Suzuki VTR and the Prima Pramac bikes. And also trying to go up the inside of VTR. These 3 have had an absolute, well, Finley of VTR have had an absolute stinker of a start. Owen Platt's found his way through on Sire. I'm guessing that. Oh, who's that down? Oh, it's Finley. Of course, it's Finley. It's got the pair. Oh, the pair of them have gone down. Pramac are officially the unluckiest team in this championship so far. But Platt's got in front, and I said it wouldn't be surprised if he ended up this. Oh, whoa! And Fadley and Howling have gone really wide. And that's allowed DJ. So, oh, Fadley's gone down as well. That's allowed DJ to move inside the top 4. But I said it wouldn't be surprised if Platt ended up leading lap 1. And that's come true. He is running the hard rear, so it's medium hard, I think, for most people. It's running if anybody has ran the risk of a medium. Howling with the power of the Honda, hard on the brakes, but DJ's actually managed to outbrake him, but he's ran wide in the process, and Howling's actually ran him wide himself. Through turn 3, VTR slides underneath the Honda. That Suzuki turning a lot better than the LCV can. Howling's going to turn it underneath the Suzuki. Contact between the pair, but VTR holds off Howling, but he's going to run wide through turn 5, and that's going to allow Howling to sit the bike up a bit earlier, get more power out of that V4 engine, but he just can't quite get in front. Howling on the cutback though into turn 8 and 9, and Howling's through, but VTR's going to turn it underneath the Dutchman. Side by side they go. Power wise, you've got to say Howling's going to have the better, but Vito's going to try and outbrake him. He's going to turn it up, he's going to try to switch back surely. Yeah, he does. He completely switches back Howling, and he's done it perfectly. And Vito's back into 5th place. DJ's the next one on his hit list. in the slipstream of the Aprilia, and he can't gain. The Suzuki's just not fast enough, unfortunately for him. Into the chicane for the third time. Howling again, running wide. And he's down. The way he's rejoined the circuit, he's gone down, he's lost the rear. That's a bit of an odd crash, that. Paint the tarmac did not go well. Into turn 4, VTR I think is going to try and turn it underneath the RSGP like Howling tried to do a lap ago, but the DJ just closed the door just in time to not allow VTR through. Craig in third place, just doing his own thing, sort of what you'd expect really. See VTR, he takes the wider entry, he's going to turn it underneath. DJ is going to try and replicate the move he did on Howling, but DJ is going to get a better exit speed, and he's going to hold off VTR for one more corner. You got Finley and Howling fighting for 7th position. Yes, 7th position. In the slipstream, Suzuki versus Aprilia. Aprilia is going to win somehow, even with the Suzuki slipstream. The problem is you just got to be careful into this chicane, because if you get caught up in the slipstream, you just got to remember to brake that a couple of meters earlier to avoid getting dragged in and out braking yourself. DJ doing some really good defending. It seems, I think it's the strongest we've seen DJ be all season so far. And he's just not presented VTR with an opportunity to pass yet, and he's actually maybe starting to close a little bit on Craig. I can't quite tell. He's not let Craig go, that's for sure. You can see the gap's now down just under 7/10 of a second. So Craig coming under a little bit of pressure. Oh, DJ's a bit wide. That might allow VTR to slip underneath. No, VTR not in close enough range to attack. Oh, and VTR runs very wide through the penultimate corner, and Craig goes wide through the final corner. So DJ, it seems he's got some consistency going here. And of course with the V full power, he's going to close in on the Yamaha, plus the slipstream as well. DJ is now in contention for a podium. Didn't have this to go. He's going to go up the inside. No, he's just a bit too far back, but it's a three-way fight now for third place. It's the Yamaha versus Aprilia versus Suzuki. Two Ducatis right in front. Sai is yet to crash. Praying to God he doesn't crash so he can speak to me, because that's what he's been wanting to do for ages. Sai doesn't need to take any risk at this point. He's got a 3-second gap over these three. He just needs to bring it home. I know it's lap 5 and there's still 8 laps to go, but still Sai makes some really stupid errors in terms of crashes sometimes. And VTR runs really wide through turn 7, so something's amiss with that Suzuki at the moment. Maybe just maybe race trim that Suzuki just does not work here. I don't know. Maybe you've loaded up the wrong setup. It's very strange, but it's not going. Oh, Craig's wide. Craig's gone really wide, and he just holds off DJ. DJ looking all over the place to find our way through. You gotta think maybe turn 1 could be a shout. But I think Craig has just built up big enough buffer for this straight to hold on to the position. Even if DJ kept closing and closing and closing, that closing speed is quite ridiculous. But Craig just about had a big enough buffer to hold off the Aprilia for now. Like to exceed the track limits somewhere, but I don't think it'd be anything too strenuous. Probably just nip the green somewhere. But Craig has managed to put himself together and has extended the gap back out to half a second. So Craig refinding his form after DJ had a good spurt there. Can he close the gap back down? Maybe the Yamaha with the fuel load going down a bit is actually just helping it do its thing a bit better. Oh, Fadley's gone down. Where's Fadley crashed? He's crashed at turn 9, and that's going to allow the likes of Finley, Nelson and Howling through. Oh no, Howling's lost the front, he's at the curb. Oh, it's going all wrong for Howling currently. And Fadley might be giving up here. But we just keep an eye on this. Finley 7.5 seconds, so let's see. He's got clean air, so let's see if he hadn't have crashed and got caught up in some stuff, how we would have fared. How he would have fared if he was in the, because I'd imagine he would have been in this group. No, you just can't take your eyes off this because anything could happen. Whoa, Craig in the curb there, nearly crashing. And he runs really wide as well, but he's going to cut it back. But this is like the only race of the season where you're probably going to see hard rear tyres. Oh, DJ's lost the front into turn 7. It was going so well. It was going so well for him, and unfortunately it's just the front just gave out. And that's his chances at a podium gone, but that now means VTR has got fresh air. Now can he start to close in on Craig? Craig is at a 5th and 2/3. Can he make it 3 podiums in a row? VTR I believe had 2 second places in a row. Maybe even 3. Let's check. The VTR's had 2 seconds in a row. It's unlikely at the moment he'll be getting a 3rd second in a row, but you never know. Oh, Howland's gone down again. He's got a long lap. It's all gone horribly, horribly wrong for him. Finley salvaged a top 5 result. I can't remember the last time he's been inside the top 5. He's had the pace to be there, but luck wise it's not been there at all. You can see Nelson in the background as well. It's so weird because the pair of them were getting like a couple of podiums here and there at the start of the season, and then it comes to the midpoint and it's all gone wrong. And Howland's gone down again. I think his head's gone, unfortunately. Who's going to win the battle of the inline 4 machines? Six and a half tenths of a second between the two. Once VTR starts getting into that slipstream, we'll see how it is. Oh, Craig's gone wide through turn 7. That's going to give VTR a chunk of time. There we go, 2 tenths. He's now on the back wheel of that M1 Yamaha. In the slipstream, can VTR attack into turn 10? VTR's going to take it tight. VTR's going to take it. Oh, Nelson's gone. He's picked up a long lap and he's gone down. Craig, I think, is just going to get the little bit of a better exit, but VTR's got the slipstream. He's going to be gaining. Craig moves all the way over to the right to defend, to stop the slipstream from happening. Into turn 1, VTR's going to. He just can't quite get through. Craig doing some great riding there, good racecraft. And off the Suzuki. Whereas VTR he's got to attempt to move somewhere. He may not be winning the championship, but these kind of things can. He's surely going to consolidate second place in the championship in the next round. Oh, VTR this time runs wide through turn 7, and that gives Craig a bit of breathing space. He hasn't lost as much time as Craig did previous time round. You can see Sire just up the road, 1.9 seconds. So maybe Sire is taking my advice from earlier. Just cool it off, make sure he didn't make any mistakes. But maybe he might be cooling off this a bit too much because oh, DJ's gone down again. So that means Finley is going to currently be inside the top 5. He has currently lost 1.5 seconds to VTR since about lap 5 or 6. So maybe he wouldn't have been. Well, I'm pretty sure if he was in the slipstream and in the draft, he would have been able to stay with these guys. So very unfortunate for Finley, but at least it'll be his first top 5 finish in a long time. If he can just stay on those 2 wheels just for an extra 2 laps. Platt's gone down at turn 7. He's crashed at a weird part actually. Seems like it's the moment he's hit the brakes he's crashed from where he's on the map. Well, obviously he doesn't have to worry about that. He's got 14.3 second gap, and it's only going to decrease to about 8 seconds, 7.9 seconds. So you can't really afford to do that again. I don't think you will. That's a really weird place to crash though, unless you hit the grass or something. But usually you don't lose the front straight away in braking unless the map is just telling another story. Whoa, VTR getting very on the limit, and he's actually picked up a long lap penalty, so Craig is just going to stay on 2 wheels for this final lap, and he will be in 3rd place. VTR's got to take the long lap penalty. It's here in the first chicane. It's really annoying actually. Here we go, he's going to be straight. Or is he not going to bother taking it? He's not going to bother taking it, so maybe he'll be wanting to peel it. For maybe he got too long, maybe he got 2 warnings at once, so he got forced into a warning. But he's decided not to take it. Into turn 4 for the final time. Craig's doing everything he can to hold on to this 3rd place. He's had pressure from DJ, he's had pressure from VTR all race. Not really had a time to take a moment's breath, but he's held up brilliantly, and he's just about 7 corners away from holding on again, the 3rd consecutive 3rd place. they come up to turn number 10. This is pretty much the final overtaking spot on the circuit. Craig is just a little bit too far ahead of VTR, but we now move on to Platt as he approaches the final corner, and he will be back-to-back champions in Season 8, and he is the VollGazzRacing Season 8 Division 1 champion. Sire, he's managed to do a race without crashing, and it's not Motegi. He finishes second, and he will eventually speak to me. Craig finishes at third, VTR in fourth. Finley will bring home a top 5 finish despite his bad luck in the opening lap. DJ in what was a near podium, which was a really good podium charge, finishes in safe. Nelson nearly dumps it on the floor in the final corner and finishes in a really disappointing 7th, and Howling, who had an absolute howler, won't even finish and is in 8th place.
Let's take a look at the final classification.
David Platt is your winner, winning 9 out of 9 races to be champion. Sire is second, Craig is third, VTR fourth, Finley fifth, DJ sixth, Nelson seventh, and Howling in 8th. So we will swiftly move on to the interviews. Craig, are you here?
Yes.
Yeah. So you had a good qualifying, and you seem to be in third place for pretty much the entire race, holding off pressure from DJ and VTR. How was that race for you?
I'm shaking like hell right now. I'm literally burning up. The start was very hectic. I think Platt come flying in and caused a few people to bump and grind against each other. Me, VTR, and someone else had to sit up and go straight across turn 1. But the battle with Jex, I felt like the gap was, manageable. I see him closing in after I made a few mistakes, I'd say, in a couple of corners. I don't know if he was just putting the hammer down. And then obviously I just maintained my position, kept up what I was doing throughout the whole race. Then as soon as Jex crashed, I had VTR behind me for the rest of the race, and he was just doing the same, putting pressure on me. I literally lost words because I'm so nervous. I was shaking throughout the race because I was like, oh, am I going to get another podium? Am I not? Is it going to be the end of my streak sort of thing? But VTR, man, he put me under a lot of pressure. I was so nervous, and I'm just lost for words right now. I think that was one of my best races. In general, I didn't make a mistake at all. But yeah, I haven't got really much else to say. I didn't hear you, by the way, when you spoke to me. Sire told me that you were speaking.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So no problem. Well, yeah, followed 3 third places in a row, so you're in some good form.
Yeah. Hopefully we can continue this.
Yep. So we move on to second place. He's been wanting to speak to me for a long time.
Yes.
But finally he can. Sire.
I wish you, Jack, to speak on the park for me.
Yep, I've missed you too. So pole position, you led in the opening lap until I didn't see what overtake happened, but I think turn 9. But more importantly, you went the entire race without crashing, and it's not a Motegi, and you've managed to pick up a second place. So well done.
Thank you. I really enjoyed the race more or less because I was consistent. I made one mistake on lap 10. I think I touched the curb, the bike. I nearly crashed. I don't know how I saved it. Thank God. And the gap reduced from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. I can hear Craig screaming, "Come here, Saya!" But I said no. I keep on pushing, and that's it. So I hope to keep this momentum and bring more podium to the Ducati team.
Yeah, congratulations, back where we know you can be, and hopefully you can speak to me in the next 3 rounds. Yep.
Yes, thank you.
So we now move on to the newly crowned champion. He's done it back to back. He's defended his title. Platt, it wasn't the perfect qualifying session in the strangest way I think possible, but you perfected turn one. You might have ruffled a few people's races in the move, but you've won your champion. How was it?
Oh, it feels great. I knew that going into this round I had very good pace. It's just unfortunate in qualifying I sent you the standings, but I ended up getting disqualified for it, so it put me in a rough spot. So in the end, I just decided to start pushing, and just, literally on the first lap it was either I'd sit behind and pick people off, or I would go for it straight away, and I decided to just go for it. I think I was second by the exit of turn one. I mean, I did have a little bit of a bump with, I think it was Craig on the inside, but there wasn't much space. I kind of had to make room for myself. So I then decided to just sit behind the side for a little bit, figure out where I could overtake him. Made a mistake at turn 7, ran a little bit wide, so I got the cut back and overtook him into turn 9, and after that it was just plain sailing to the end of the race. Other than my one crash, I actually touched the grass on the outside by the curb, because I was pushing the limits there every lap, just trying to keep my lines as accurate as possible and close to the limit as I possibly could be. But in the end I paid for it, and I crashed, but I still got the victory, and I'm really happy with my race lap as well, because it was 3/10 faster in qualifying. Just something, but yeah, alright, yeah. And congratulations to Craig and Sire on the podium.
Yep. So so that has been it for round 9. The championship's decided. Second place is still up for grabs, even though that is pretty much decided as well. So who will get third place? I probably don't know who's actually between. I'll just take a quick look now to try and figure out who it can be, but I believe it's between Nelson. It's between Nelson and Finley currently. But with Sire's second place and Craig with his consistency, Craig could be here to steal at the end here. But we'll see how it goes, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next round. I'm not sure if we have a break next week, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. We'll see you guys in the next round. Goodbye.